Hello again. It is, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Is it still Wednesday? It's been Wednesday forever. Some people are complaining they don't know why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I'm the Lib Dem in the by-election. First thing to get in there, some complaints about me popping up on people's Facebook streams. Sorry if I'm annoying you. I'm doing it for such a good reason. Copeland needs a really strong MP. And if I'm annoying you by telling you that it's got to be me and people need to come out and help me, then I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to carry on doing it anyway because it matters. So I've called this live stream A Week in a Day. It's been such an amazing day. So much has happened and so much has changed so quickly. Started off the morning down Whitehaven Academy Action Group in Zest, trying to get them onto the filming for the daily politics and trying to get that issue out there. They were brilliant. It was fabulous working with them, making real progress now. I got the filming done, and then I really grilled the people out who were filming me about whether this would be broadcast or whether it would end up on the cutting room floor. And I did everything I could to make them promise me it would go on, but they also explained the reasons why it might not. So a few interviews down the line, by the time I did Sky this evening, what they said was the stuff on Brexit will always go on because that is the stuff that will that they're planned. That's what they planned. They want. That's been what they've been told to get. So by the time I did the Sky interview this evening, Whitehaven Academy was in my answer on Brexit. Okay, so I'm still learning. I don't know if we were on the daily politics today. I don't have any time to watch this stuff. If anyone's got any feedback on that, if we were on today, if we might be on tomorrow, hope they will put it on. But I'm getting there because I'm getting more and more coverage because we're getting results in from phone banking that are simply stunning. The Labour response is incredibly low, like in the Rotherham by-election. It's that bad. And yeah, it's between me and the Tory. And no, it's really hard to say how bad having this Tory MP would be without seeming derogatory. And I want to run a positive campaign. So I'll come back to what I did today. Did a lot of news in Whitehaven, and then I drove to Kendal, which is a heck of a long way from Whitehaven, for a long-awaited meeting with the CQC. It's something I set up from a letter I wrote back on the 8th of December that had support from Sue Hayman, credit to her as MP, and from Mike Starkey as Mayor, and from West Cumbria Voice for Healthcare, to the regulator saying that we are concerned because key figures have kept quoting the CQC's directive as being the reason for the impending closure of paediatric care in Whitehaven Hospital that will lead to obstetric care being closed. It was a really frank and powerful discussion. They wanted to hear what I had to say. And I have so much more to say now because I've met so many people during this campaign, met the group of senior consultants and senior people in healthcare in Copeland, and I was able to bring their views into that meeting in confidence, in private. And also some incredible people who've been here campaigning for me. The people who are driving from around the country and I go out for meals with, they tend to be like top hospital consultants who have really interesting perspectives on this. And listening to their views is fascinating too. Your average Lib Dem campaigner can be quite surprising. So much powerful discussion went on, and it was such a privilege to be in that position and to be back just working on this case in a way, the way I was doing before this election was called. So credit to Virginia who came with me, and to the inspector, to Ellen and Amanda from the CQC, Deputy Chief Inspector, and her Chief Inspector of hospitals in Cumbria. They are listening, they understand, and they are working on this. Then had to leg it all the way back to Whitehaven for more press with Sky, and then the Whitehaven nuclear hustings. That was interesting. A lot of challenging questions. It was live streamed by the Whitehaven News. Yes, we noticed the sudden spikes in numbers viewing every time I answered a question. Yes, it caused the freezing. Well done, whoever was organising that cyber attack. It was noticed. It is disgusting. This is democracy. All the candidates should be heard. What are you doing? Work on your own policies. Build good policies. Contribute to democracy. Do something worthwhile. Don't try and shut up good candidates in your own interest. You're better than that. Sorry, for those of you who didn't notice, the Whitehaven News were live streaming the Hustings, which was a really good quality Hustings. And I gave a lot of very strong answers. But when I was giving my answers, there were sudden massive spikes on the viewing figures that were causing them to freeze, so my answers weren't heard. And I am not impressed. But yeah, lots of good stuff. I just feel like all the people from the other parties are just coming to me saying, I wish your rosette was my colour. I even got a comment that I was like Nicola Sturgeon. So, and yeah, I will be there. If you elect me, I will be there to represent you all. Every single one of you, and I will fight on these issues. One thing that came up, I have seen the Whitehaven News wrap around. This was my closing comment at Hustings. I am horrified. That has cost a fortune, saying that only Labour can save the hospital. What bunkum. Jamie Reid didn't know how to save it. I know how to save it. They did another wraparound where they talked about how Labour would save services. It's a massive headline from a previous News and Star that they'd cut out. My headline about my work, and they'd cut off my picture and the references to me and had attributed it as being Labour work. Jamie Reid did not know how to save the hospital. Labour don't know how. They have nothing new. They talk about how under Labour policy, all that money that goes to the south will come north. Well, we ain't going to get a Labour government. You've got to do oppositional work. It's got to be tight. It's got to be good. It's got to be grounded. That's what I do. I know what I'm doing. You should elect me. Thank you, Charlie. And breathe. Any questions, anyone? Tell you a little bit about what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going down to Milham School in the morning to meet Year 11, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm so glad we've managed to fit that in. And I haven't been hijacked for press at this notice. I don't think I will be because I'm leaving at 7:30. Tomorrow night we are recording a live radio debate instead of Hustings. Quite a long thing. I think we're back in the Beacon for that. I don't think it's live. I think it's going to be broadcast later. And the other thing I need to do tomorrow is to organise the Action Weekend in Whitehaven. Got, I think, about 10 live events. Come and meet me, ask me anything. And I've got to get all those staffed. And I need 50 deliverers to come to Whitehaven Market Store, pick up a bundle of leaflets and deliver it somewhere in Whitehaven. So if any of you could be one of those deliverers, please message me, please reassure me you're coming. But I'm really looking forward to meeting so many people this weekend. Okay, it is late. There don't seem to be any questions tonight. I love taking your questions. Please do keep sending them. But I need to get some sleep. So, night.